All right. Okay. Trigonometry, Chapter 7. Review. This short answer. Now, we're going to go through and you guys are going to help me with this right here. So now, if I read through this, points A and B are opposite sides of a crater. So that means here and here are opposite sides. Point C, 45 meters away from point A. Very good, right there. Okay, and angle BAC, 111 degrees. Angle ACB is 43 degrees. And what is the width of the crater? So now, what letter am I going to put right here?
Little c.
Why little c?
Because it's exactly across the angle.
It's across from big C, right?
Yeah.
It's across from the angle, so that's little c. What do I put over here?
Little a.
Little a. Now, so what am I trying to solve for here?
Little c.
Little c, very good, little c. Now, what law can I use? Why law of sine?
Because you have angles.
I don't have another side, do I? To use law of cosine, I have to have at least two sides, but I don't have that. Now, can you tell me what angle B is right now?
We have to subtract that by 26.
It's going to be 26 because all three have to add up to what?
180.
Very good. So angle B, 26 degrees. Now, from there,
You can use law of sine.
now I could use law of sines. So I would set up my law of sines, so 45 over sine
26 equals c
little c,
over sine 43.
43. Very good. So there's my cross products there. And let's go ahead and do my cross product. So it's going to be 45 sine equals c times sine
26.
divide both sides by sine 26.
Yes.
So c is going to be about, okay, crunch those numbers. So 45 times sine 43. Don't forget, put the degree symbol in here.
Does it make a difference?
Yes, it does, because it forces degree mode. So even if you don't realize that your calculator's not in degree, it'll force it. And over sine 26. Answer is going to come out to be 70. What's my units?
70. Point
Will we give them adult if we don't put the units?
0, another 0.
Meters.
Oh.
I'm going to round to a tenth on this one.
Oh, okay.
Now, meters. Now, a couple questions that were already raised. Now, do I have to put meters?
Yes.
Yes. Now, this test has 3 questions. And you have to get all points. You have to have meters, right?
Yeah.
And if you want that A, you can't lose any points out of that. Can't lose any points out of that. Okay, so you have to have your units labeled. And your next thing that's also necessary is right here. So you have to show your setup for your problem and your answer with units. Do you have to show this?
No.
No, you do not have to show this, because a lot of people will do this stuff in their head and then come out with this. But, you know, you do this part in the calculator too, right? So to get full credit, you have to have that and that. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Now, for this one right here, I need to figure out inside this triangle. So this is on the outside. So what am I going to do to figure out what's on the inside?
Subtract 180.
Subtract from 180, right? Because this is a straight line, isn't it?
Yeah.
So subtract that from 180 and I get 91.1 degrees. Now that I have this one and this one, can I find the third angle?
Yes.
Yes, I can. Please do that. So all three have to add up to 180. So I do 180 minus this, which gives me 1.2 degrees.
Yes.
Now, does that seem right? Say yes.
Yes.
Because it's a communication satellite, and the communication satellite is actually really high above the Earth, right?
Yeah.
So high you can't even see it at all. So you're going to have to actually look down right here from a small window. So in between these two is going to be pretty far. That means that this has to be a very large number, right? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go ahead and actually do this one. What law am I going to use here? Do I have enough for cosine?
Oh no.
It's going to be sine, because I only have one side, right?
Yeah.
And what am I going to label this one here as? This side right here. What am I going to label that as? Little b. Little b, because it's across from big B, right? So little b is right there. So that is going to be little b. Okay, so this one over here is little a. Now I'm looking, this one right here, how far is it from a? So we're looking from right here. This is the value I'm looking for, right? So this is going to be law of sines, because I don't have two sides to do cosine.
So it's 664 over sine 1.2 equals b
Over
sine 87.7.
87.7, yes. Make sure when you're doing this, you put the degree symbol. That's a big thing right there. So I'll do the cross products here. 664 sine.
Sine 87.7 equals b times sine 1.2. You divide by sine 1.2.
Divide both sides by sine 1.2.
And then you get 664 times sine 87.7 over sine 1.2.
Okay, so we can put in the calculator. So 664 times sine 87.7 degrees over sine 1.2, and we get a big number, don't we?
Yes.
So B is about 3160.
0.4.
What are my units?
And
Kilometers, right?
Yes.
Very good. So again on credit, here and the setup. So we have the setup and this one with the label to get full credit. Questions over that?
No.
Now let's go over to the back side. Now on the back side it says solve the triangle. So when I solve the triangle, what do I have to do? Draw the triangle. So I'm going to do that. So now if we're solving this triangle, we have to solve for everything, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put in my numbers. 74.8 degrees. This is little a, which is 8.919. Little c is over here, which is
6.427.
Very good. So now, if you notice, okay, I just want to identify again that big C is here, little c is over here. It's across from it. So if this is big B, that one is little b. Now, what information is given to me now? Side, angle, side, right?
Yeah.
If I have side, angle, side, I use what law? Law of cosine, right? So that means I have to solve for b. Little b goes first, right?
Yes.
So it's going to be little b. So now this is the formula that I had you guys write down. So b is equal to the square root of, so that's going to be 6.427 squared, right?
Times
Plus,
plus 8.919.
hold on, Go ahead, Catherine.
Is this the only way you can do it?
Yeah. This one is, because it's side angle side, you have to use law of cosine.
Minus
2 times
6.427 times 8.919 cosine 74.8. Yeah, you trying to catch up. You lost. Gonna go fast.
Okay. So yes, it is a lot to put in the calculator.
That is a lot.
That is a lot, right?
Jimmy probably already has it done.
So go ahead, enter that in the calculator. So
Macho, Catherine has a question.
what's wrong?
Catherine has a question.
No, I don't.
Oh, she was reading her hand. Oh, that's why. I was like,
I always forget my glasses. I don't know where I got them.
it's a waste of your time.
Honestly.
9.5. 2. 9.5. Oh, you get 9.5, so you 8, 7, 1.
It's an 8, not a 7 right there.
Oh,
74 points.
good job for catching that one. Good job, Jimmy.
Wow, Jimmy's on top of it.
I know, right? This is what happens when Jimmy stays awake. So Jimmy, good job. You get a sugar daddy.
Ah! Yeah, you can have it. I'm sorry. I just felt like doing that.
You just got all excited.
That thing broke my jaw the other day.
Bro, it's just your teeth too. It tastes like a glazed dough.
Okay, so now for this one, listen. Listen, right here. Okay, so I get 9.52871. Okay, so now listen. Now, okay, I'm telling you guys this right now because all these right here use 3 decimals. Okay, if you want your answer to be exact, use 3 decimals also. It's already here. So we would say B,
It's approximately
529.
529. If you use 3 decimals, it's going to make your answer more correct every time. These have 3, so try and use 3 here.
Okay.
Okay? So now,
Go to thousands.
so we have all the sides now, right? So now we need to do an angles. We could use law of sine or we could use law of cosine. What's up?
What's your units?
Oh, my units, thank you very much. My units are inches. Good job.
No, it's her.
Oh, good job, Michelle.
You're her.
Okay. So it is inches. Okay, so now
I would have forgotten.
angles. So let's solve for one of the angles. So now which one is the bigger angle? A. I don't want to solve for that. Because if you're dealing with the bigger angle, you would have to deal with an ambiguous, just in case. If you're going to use law of sines, you might have an ambiguous angle. You don't want to do that. So deal with your smaller one, and you won't have that problem.
Go with B.
So we're going to use C. We're going to do C, big C.
I want to do C.
All right, Jimmy, go ahead, solve for big B.
I said little b.
We already did.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so now this formula right here is on the board. Okay, I worked this out for you. So it's going to be C is equal to the inverse cosine of C squared. So it's going to be no wait, crap, wrong one. It's not 9
It's
6.427 squared.
squared minus
8.919 squared.
minus 9.529 squared
Why is it like that?
all over. Why is what like what?
Where'd you get the 9.5?
See, little
From
B.
little b.
Oh, yeah.
Little b.
Little B.
Okay.
It's not little b.
Negative 2 times 8.919 times 9.529. There. So this formula still is on the board for you for solving theta. I had you guys put it on your reference sheet. Hopefully you did. It's in your notes right now. And you could use your reference sheet on tomorrow's test as long as you have your formulas. Yes.
So you chose the smaller angles? So you
Yes.
have-
I chose a smaller angle so I don't have to deal with the ambiguous.
So if you did
That's using law of sine. Using law of sine because some people wanted to do law of sine to be able to solve it. Because I had that issue with one of my last classes. They wanted law of sine, but they ended up coming out with an ambiguous angle because they used the larger. So it was weird. So yeah, it avoids all ambiguous if you use law of cosine. So plug this in the calculator.
40.6. Are we doing 3?
No, use one decimal. For an angle is one decimal.
40.6.
40.6. So you're saying that big C is 40.6 degrees?
Yeah.
Now, what would I do to try and find big A now?
Oh, you just subtract it from 180?
Subtract them from 180, right?
Yeah.
Subtract it from...
4.8 minus 4.6.
Are you gonna be anal about the
No, I'm not a stickler about that. It's just I show it because I'm always rounding. So we get 64 point...
Yeah.
Yeah?
64 point what?
6.
You just said tomorrow.
Degrees?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, questions, you guys.
No.
Does this make sense here?
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
I'm hoping it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, any other questions, concerns, complaints?
Comments, like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, don't forget, like, subscribe, share it, and I got to get 100 videos. 100 views. 100 views.
No, face reveal at 3 likes.
I just cussed on that. You guys know that, right?